How to disappear silently from people who don't value you sometimes. The most powerful move you can make is a quiet one. We're often taught that closure has to be loud, that we need to explain ourselves, defend our feelings, or announce our exit. But the truth is, not everyone deserves that level of access to you. There are people in life who will consistently overlook your worth. They'll ignore your effort, take your kindness for granted, and only show up when it benefits them. And at some point, you start to realize something important. You're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong people. So instead of arguing, chasing, or trying to prove your value, you choose something different. You choose to disappear. Quietly. Not to hurt them, not to get revenge, but to protect your peace. Because silence, when used right, speaks louder than anything else. The first step is to stop explaining yourself. You don't need to send long messages trying to make them understand you. You don't need to write paragraphs about how they hurt you or why you're pulling away. If someone truly valued you, they wouldn't need a detailed explanation to treat you better. Over-explaining often comes from a place of wanting to be understood. But the reality is, people who care will already try to understand. And people who don't, won't suddenly change because you said more. So instead of explaining, you accept. You accept what they've shown you, and you move accordingly. The second step is to withdraw your energy. This is where things begin to shift. You stop being the one who always reaches out first. You stop being the one who keeps conversations alive. You stop overgiving, overthinking, and overextending yourself. You don't do it dramatically. You don't make a scene. You simply stop. And this can feel uncomfortable at first. Because when you're used to being the one who tries, silence can feel like you're doing something wrong. But you're not. You're just matching their energy. You're allowing the relationship to reflect its true balance, or imbalance. The third step is to create quiet distance. You don't have to block them or cut them off aggressively. You don't have to make a big statement. Instead, you become less available. You reply when you feel like it, not out of obligation. You engage less in conversations that drain you. You stop showing up in spaces where you feel unappreciated. It's a slow, intentional shift. And over time, that distance grows naturally. What's important here is that your intention isn't to manipulate them or make them chase you. Your intention is to detach. There's a difference. Detachment is peaceful. It's not about control. It's about letting go. 3. The fourth step is to pour into yourself. This is where your focus changes completely. Instead of putting your time and energy into people who don't value you, you redirect that energy back into your own life, your goals, your growth, your mental health, your happiness. You start doing things that make you feel alive again. You build routines that support you. You reconnect with parts of yourself that you may have neglected. And slowly, you realize something powerful. The more you invest in yourself, the less you feel the need to chase anyone else. Because your life starts to feel full, on its own. The fifth step is to let them notice or not. When you disappear silently, one of two things usually happens. Either they notice your absence, or they don't. And both outcomes give you clarity. If they notice, they may reach out. They may ask where you've been or why you've changed. And in that moment, you don't need to over-explain. You don't need to go back to how things were. You simply respond with the same calm energy you've built. And if they don't notice, then you've lost nothing. Because you were already giving your energy to someone who didn't see your value. Their silence just confirms what you already felt. Now here's something important to understand. Disappearing silently isn't about being cold or heartless. It's not about ignoring people out of pride or ego. It's about self-respect. It's about recognizing when something isn't healthy for you anymore and choosing to step away without unnecessary noise. Because not every situation needs confrontation. Not every relationship needs closure. Sometimes, closure is something you give yourself. By choosing peace, by choosing distance, by choosing to walk away. And yes, it can feel lonely at times. Letting go of people, even the wrong ones, isn't always easy. There will be moments where you question your decision, moments where you miss them, moments where you wonder if you should reach out. But in those moments, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself how you felt when you were constantly overlooked. Remind yourself how draining it was to give so much and receive so little. And remind yourself that peace will always be worth it. At the end of the day, disappearing silently is a form of clarity. It's you deciding that your energy is valuable, that your presence is not something to be taken for granted, and that you deserve relationships where effort is mutual. So you stop forcing, you stop chasing, you stop explaining, and you simply move on, quietly. And one day you'll look back and realize that walking away without a word was one of the strongest things you ever did. Because not everyone deserves access to you, and not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. That's it for today. Please like and subscribe, and of course comment on if this helped. See you in the next one.